You can just roll and ask the questions.
How would you define success?
That's a good question because success very frequently is defined by other people. For me, success has meant doing what I want to do, which is music, and I've been able to do that for a long time. Happily married, living in a beautiful place, so I feel like I'm successful. But obviously, in the music business, there are all different kinds of success, and I've had some of them, and I've had some good failures as well. And that's all part of the journey. So I think probably happiness and success would almost be synonymous in my mind.
Is there a difference between love and sex?
Oh, absolutely. I love my son very much, but aside from the fact that he was a product of a sexual act, there's no sexual relationship there. So I think you can love the world. You can love everybody in the world, and there have been people in history who have attempted to do that. And sex is sometimes a trigger for love, but it's not. It's not love. It's part of love in some cases, and sometimes it's not related to the love.
What are your views on marriage? Some people think it's just vanity. Some people think it's more about show. Some people think it's a spiritual commitment to another person. What are your views on it?
Well, I think all the kind of descriptions you used are true. I mean, sometimes people get married for a status symbol, or just for security, or as a cultural thing. Ideally, I think it means people are committed to each other, and they accept each other, and they keep going even when it's difficult. And because any kind of long-term marriage will have ups and downs. So, I've been married now for 14 years, and that's pretty remarkable for a musician to be able to keep that going for 14 years. But I've got a great wife, so very frequently I'm skeptical when I hear people are getting married, but then all I can do is wish them, the kind of luck I've had. But I'd have to give Varuni more credit for the success of the marriage than I can give myself, because she's the one who's probably had to be more patient than I have.
Are you where you wanted to be 5 or 10 years ago in terms of your life and where you are?
Well, it's about 5 years ago that I chose to move to Tasmania. So, that was a very strange choice to do, and I didn't know what was going to be in store. So I had no plans to do Monophoma, or didn't know about the museum or any of that kind of stuff. I wasn't intending to continue playing rock music that much, and now I still am playing rock music with The Break, which is me and a couple of guys from Midnight Oil, so it's like chance occurrences happening, like getting asked to play with them, being asked to do Monophoma. So I think I'm probably in a more diverse and maybe even better place than I would have thought. And a lot of times people who are in rock bands, they think, oh, I want to do all these other things, and I have so much talent, and there's so many things I can do. But then in the end, once the band stops, they just kind of like flounder. They don't find anything to do. But I've had the opposite experience, which is that every day I have new opportunities and new things to do. Like on Tuesday, I'm flying to Europe to play with the Australian Chamber Orchestra. I've never played with an orchestra before, and that's something that I hadn't thought about 5 years ago. So I think the important thing is just to keep open to these opportunities, because we all get them in our lives, but you have to be able to recognize when to do it. And I've been pretty lucky about that since I moved to Australia.
Do you ever feel afraid of getting old and dying?
I guess a lot of times people don't think about their own mortality, and I certainly never did. And I always lived like there was no tomorrow, and I would always have a youthful energy and be able to do anything I wanted to do, and I still feel that way. intellectually I realized that it's not possible that I have as much time to accomplish what I'd like to do as I had when I was 20 years old. But I can see being productive for another at least 20, 30, maybe even 40 years if I live that long. And I'm not worried about that either, because I feel good. So I guess we all have to worry about death, but I mean, why bother? It's inevitable. See ya.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah, thanks.